It is very encouraging to see that China and India reached an agreement about disengagement along their disputed border. And this paved the way for a very successful BRICS summit meeting in Kazan, Russia, and use all the wisdom and courage and vision they can muster to solve the territorial disputes in peace and diplomacy. That means China and India are at a very unique, extraordinary historical moment to focus on their economic development rather than being distracted by the territorial disputes. Some Western countries actually agitate for confrontation or showdown or even military confrontation between China and India. Those countries which agitate for war or confrontation between China and India forget one important thing. That is, India is a country of independence and non-aligned. India is actually a very important member of the non-aligned movement, group of 77, for example, and has always refused to be subjugated to the will and the dictation of any other big country. Therefore, I think all countries in the world should work together to promote peace and stability between China and India, enabling them to solve their territorial disputes in peace. China and India are two very different countries in terms of economic development. And there could be a high level of complementarity between China and India. We are not real competitors in any sense of the word. We are highly complementary. That means trade between the two countries, the exchange of services and exchange of goods and information could really be accelerated for the benefit of both China and India. Many Western countries view India as a potential replacement of China in terms of economic growth. Now, allow me to emphasize one point. If China and India, each following its own very unique pathway of development, could be two of the top three largest economies in the world, from the Chinese perspective, there is no unhappiness at all. I think we'll be happy to see India further increase its ranking in the world and become one of the top three or even one of the top two largest economies in the world eventually. And I don't think BRICS organization is against the dollar. However, I think the BRICS countries are really very much concerned about certain big country weaponizing the dollar or weaponizing the SWIFT system. From our perspective, the dollar or the SWIFT system or the euro or the renminbi yuan are kind of public good. It's like air you breathe, and you need to use that freely without restrictions. Therefore, the problem is not the so-called de-dollarization. The problem is the weaponization of the dollar and or the SWIFT system. Now, if one big country wants to weaponize the dollar and the SWIFT system, there definitely will be consequences. We should blame those countries which want to weaponize the dollar, weaponize the euro, weaponize the SWIFT system.